Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight to another layer, another level of our spiritual process, our spiritual progression. And we are in a very unique space, as everybody knows. I spoke a little bit about it, not fully give you information about it, but we are in a process after Passover of 7 weeks that we meaning not physically but spiritually, our vessel, our foundation goes through what we call construction, building. We started to speak about it last time. Every week you're building another foundation in your desire, in your ability to want more and greater and greater. This is the process. This week, we in the week of Gvurah. If you know, the 7 weeks go by the sfirot of the tree of life, that we know the 7 below, they call it Chesed, Gvurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut. We are in the 2nd week, which called Gvurah, that represent by bravery. Sometimes in order to overcome something, in order to jump to the water, in order to be able to cross a challenge or a very scary situation, we need some bravery in this year. So we never know what we're facing this coming year, but you need to be brave, to want more, to desire more, and to ask for more. Okay? So this is this week, and every week we're going to share some other insight of what to meditate throughout the week. Again, every single day. This week started yesterday and until Saturday, you are asking to strengthen your desire by the energy of bravery, by the energy of heroism, right? I want to be a hero. Gibor, Gvurah is the energy of Gibor, which is a hero. Each one of us have superpower inside of us. This is this week to strengthen or even to connect to them or to awaken them. Every week, we know that we go into the Torah, the literal story, and we take in what was designated as reading for that particular week. You should know that those readings are not random decisions or by chance. It's all exact how it's been used for us to increase, to desire more, and to awaken more in this world. This week, right after Passover, which is last night, we are entering to what we call the portion of Shmini. Shmini represented by the number 8, which is the 8th day. Right? The 8th day, that's what it says. The Creator comes to Moses, gives them instruction, and then Moses comes to the Israelites today, this week, and tell them this way, Zeh hadavar asher tzivah Hashem. He used the word. This is what the Creator giving us. This is what the Creator tell us to do. Right? And you do that, Vayar elav kvod Hashem, and the Creator will be revealed to you. What does He ask us to do? We build the Mishkan, we build the tabernacle, we build a structure, right? What we call the temple. And we get a specific instruction. And now this week, it's the 8th day that we know when the light of the Creator revealed on what we call the Mishkan, the altar where they sacrifice the animals. Obviously, I want to remind ourselves, we're not talking about something physically or even remotely closely to what we need to do physically in this world. It's all a spiritual significance, a spiritual awakening to our vessel. And if one knows how to do it and what needs to be done this particular week, He's more aware and he's more excited and he's more passionate about his life as opposed to living life in a mistake or random or suddenly, being surprised, and sometimes the surprises are not so good in this world. So now let's connect to what it means spiritually. Okay, that's collectively we're speaking about that in the 8th day, the light of the Creator revealed on the Mishkan, on the tabernacle. That's that they're talking. What does it mean for us? In this world, we have two realities, two ways to connect to the reality. So we say we have two realities, which mean one is that important understanding that in both the goal is that one will be connected to its ultimate level, ultimate self. That a person eventually will achieve his full potential. That a person will be connected to the purest, the most holiest part of who they are. That's the goal. That's why you came here. So there is one, as the Kabbalists explain, lekadesh et atzmo, which means it says when a person purify himself, now from above he gets an assistant of way more purification to his movie, to his reality. When a person work on himself, change, accepting more of the difficulty in the spiritual work, more of the rules, spiritual rules to live by, not we're talking about physical rules, the spiritual laws of the universe, in a concept or in the level of consciousness, we call it Zeh. Zeh, it means this is the work. This is what I need to do. As opposed to sort of, maybe, I'm not sure. No. When there is no maybe or tomorrow I'll do something. No. There is one level that one need to understand that not everybody can be in that reality, which is fine, by the way. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody to be in a reality of this is what needs to be done. Most of us sometimes getting to that level when it's already too late. Guys, we have to do that. This is what we have to do, right? When you come to the level that it's like already like that needs to be done, sometimes for most of us it's like almost like forced or coerced on us. We need to understand when you waiting or prolonging, you get to be, decision to be made for you as opposed to you make decisions. There is a reality that is a very elevated reality, and it's not for everybody to get there right away. It's a reality of rules and regulations. It's like a business, right? You can everybody open a business. I can open a business, yes, but not everybody will be successful because there are rules, regulations, and many things that you need to work on in order to have that business operating and work and grow. Not everybody can do it or even desire to do it. In the spiritual work, it's the same way. Sometimes there's a moment that you need to get to the level that this is it. It's not tomorrow, it's not a maybe, it's not sort of. Either you in or you out. But there's another reality that the Creator give us, right? In a way. For example, some of us even come in right now to study. Some of us even listening to what we're sharing right now. And we're not that elevated and we're not that pure, right? Let's say in a room, let's say I open a class, there is 100 people in the room. Is everybody in the same level? Some of people are working on themselves, are more pure than the other. How can they be together in the same room? Is it even okay? Again, I want to say that spiritually talking, someone is more pure than the other. Not that they are better. someone work on themselves, reduce their ego, they are in the same room as other people. How is it working? And this is the beauty of this world. That the Creator creates for us a reality where we can all be together, even though we're not in the same level, even though one is purer than the other. Not better, I'm talking about. Pure, meaning working on themselves, changing, transforming. Like in your family, not all your family, when you have sisters, brothers, not everybody working on themselves, and you're still together, and you're still sharing a meal, and you're still spending time in the holidays. No wrong, right? It's another reality. That's, by the way, it's a difficult reality, because some of us like comparing ourselves. Some of us like why I need to do it, why they not, how come they still here and they're not doing this work, right? That's a lot of trouble that people get into obviously in the spiritual path, when they checking around. How come the teacher tell me to work on this level, he tell me to do all of those things, even though I'm many years in the study? How is it working? So the answer is, it's for a period of time. There is a specific, for each one of us, expiration date. You can still be connecting to the wisdom of Kabbalah. You can still be amongst all the righteous. But there's a certain time frame. You've been given a time frame. That in that time, you can stay the same, but eventually when the limited time you out of the spiritual path. You call it excuses. The teacher told me they are this, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't understand. All kind of reasons. But it's because we cannot stay the same, get the same, and not working on ourselves. There are levels that we need to achieve, and one of them is to achieve a level that we're using the forces of creation. Like I said before, superpowers, the power to rule this reality. Eventually we're meant to do that. And if you're not on the path to do that, eventually that time will pass and you will pass away with that time. I have many people coming in and out of this study. Thousands and thousands. But they wanted to stay the same and still stay on the path. And it's clearly that's not going to happen. Not because somebody or me or have someone selector or a bouncer in the door, let me check your purity level. That doesn't happen. It's simply between you and the Creator. If you're not going to get to the level that you need to influence with the light of the Creator in this world, that you want to reveal true light, real light, not ego, not the momentary light. So there is a necessity of change. Nobody gonna coerce you, but the reality is that you're gonna be out. And it's not, by the way, it's a system that works. It's not me coming up with that. So at certain moment in your life, you want to start, loosen the lies. Let go of the lies. The false identity. The false reality. The false thoughts of what I think about others or about myself. The lack of purity on your action, on your thoughts, on your emotion. This is the true reality in the same reality. And it's okay to be in either way, but you want to understand that you cannot stay the same and accepting or expecting to receive new light, new revelation, new ideas, and so forth. So it's the first interaction of this week, and Moses telling you, listen, there is a reality. In order to use what we call the 8th day, the 8 represent Bina. In order to access this, you will have to, by the way, each one of us, in the end of the road, whatever the road is for you, We know Kabbalistically what it means. But whatever it is that you feel that you are meant to do, you will need to receive what we call the 8th day. It's a zeh, it's a must. It means the energy of Bina, the highest level of the tree of life. That you have it internally, but you're not going to get to access it if you're going to stay the same. So therefore, Moses comes with the prophecy in this week. He says, Zeh hadavar, this is the thing, there is no change on that. There is reality of the Zeh, which means that this is what we need to do. And there is another reality that we can still be in, which is, okay, I'm still not pure, I'm still not elevated, but I can still be. But that have an expiration date. The next level for this week, and I'm going to give you this week is a beautiful understanding that we download over this week. If you read the literal story, he says what I just said in the beginning, and then it goes through all the process of different sacrifices, different animals, and then he came to the level that he speaks about what animal we should eat. He says, Zot hachaya asher tuchelu, from these animals you're going to eat, and from these animals you should not eat. Listen to the illusion, right? That's where all the people that ever study this or listen to religion think, this is where God told the Jewish people to eat kosher, right? And everything else is not. Yeah, maybe there's a truth for the level of kosher, not kosher, right? But if you think about it, if you read the story, okay, and I read it many times, many years, it tells you a lot of what animal you should not touch, you should not engage, you should not eat. A lot of them, and then few, maybe few, that you can eat and can engage with. By the way, you can while they're alive, and if they're dead, you still don't allow to touch them, right? Or if somebody is a Kohen or a priest, or he cannot be next to a dead corpse or something like that, right? So there's many rules, even after the death of the animal. So listen to, first of all, the question. We need to ask question. Why the whole portion, so many words, such length, to tell you, don't touch this, if you touch this, you're gonna do this. Don't eat this, if you eat this, that's what's the consequences, right? That's what he tells you this week. Can he just tell me, hey guys, let me tell you, eat this animal, this food, that's it. You just need to tell me what to eat, the rest don't touch. It's easy, no? Much more simpler. Why you tell me the whole story? Why you go and explain a lengthiest explanation about the ozniya, about this type of bird, and this type of bird, and this type of snake, and this, why? Why do I need to know about it? I don't have any interaction. I don't even know they exist. And this is the beauty of that. One is to understand that we as human beings, we are the totality of this reality. The entire kingdoms. Remember, we spoke about there are 4 kingdoms. The mineral, right, the inanimate objects, the vegetation kingdom, the animal kingdom, and the human kingdom are all infused in human. This is it. Everything you see here, everything you experience in this world is because it's infused as human being, meant to rule all those kingdoms. So the way it goes, when a human being, or let's say humanity, elevate their spiritual energy, everything else rises. The land will stop retaliate. The soil will stop retaliate. The rain will start coming in its time. Animal will not retaliate, or death of mass death of animal, and many other catastrophe. earthquakes, all those things happening because they are infused in human being. And when human being not elevate their spiritual level, everything else take its own course. So when human being comes together, when humanity elevate their spiritual energy, everything else start to serve us and give us way more and nourish us way more. The fruit that you eat, instead of eating 2 apples, you will eat a bite of an apple and you will nourish so much nutrient. Instead of eating a full loaf of bread and just getting big, as opposed to nourish with nutrient, I need to get more and more and more. It's because human beings are the majority of us are not elevating ourselves. And therefore everything that is connected to us, all the kingdoms, required more and more from us in order to be part with us. I need more animals being slaughtered, right? Because imagine you again, people just like take 1 chicken per family of 20 people, right? Per family of 20 people, 1 chicken, they just need 1 bite. They don't need the whole full of chicken. It's because we are more desire to receive for the self alone of humanity. We need more animals, we need more bread, we need more fruits, we need more food, and we're making it so many other things to satiate ourselves. This is a result of human being not elevated. Humanity is not elevated. I wish the entire world will hear this message from the Kabbalists. All the animal rights and all the use of medication and all the use of balancing the sugar and all of that is because the food that we need so much more of the food that we eat to satiate ourselves. No, the food doesn't have that. The food, you just need 1 bite. And done, you don't need much. You have to understand, our energy is way more stronger than food and anything else. Again, this is a conversation for a much more broader conversation that we need to talk about. But for today, for this month, for this week, the Kabbalists explain that because of all animals are infused and connected to human being, right? Infused, when human being elevate, all the animals elevate, everything else elevate. Throughout your life, one need to be aware, and this is a level of awareness. I'm not asking you, somebody come and tell you. It's your awareness that you operate, think, feels, and act like a specific animal. There is a specific animal in this world of animal kingdom that influence you. Check. Some of them are for the good, some of them are for the bad. Okay? You need to check which animal are you influenced by. What type of animal? Some of them are few of them throughout life. And I'm going to share with you few so you will have some idea, okay, what it means. Because Moses, what he brings here, he tells you what to touch, what animal you can touch, what animal you cannot touch, what animal you can eat, what animal you cannot eat. Now people thought literally that's what it means. Yes, there is some literal thing about it, but it's really about how this animal influences you and give you a hint what changes you need to make. If you think about it, life can be very, very simple if you follow some kind of rules, right? But in a way, if the creator from the creation of the world designated few animals, by the way, guys, you are human, these are the animals that you use to eat them and it will elevate you. The others, you eat them, it put you down. That simply it is. So the question is, One that don't care about eating animals or any of those things that are quote unquote kosher, not kosher. If you don't mind about it, that's okay. But you just need to ask yourself, where do you want to be in your life? Who do you want to be in your life? Do you want to know, or do you want to come and do your job in this world, or you don't want to do your job in this world? What are you? Are you a tourist over here? Came and enjoy this world, and I can eat this, and I can take this, and I can be in relationship here, and then when I don't want that, I can leave, no, right? I'm just a visitor in this world, so I can enjoy everything, or you have responsibility for this world. You have some kind of a purpose in this reality. And if you don't ask for that, that's why you can eat whatever you want, you can sleep whatever you want, you can drink whatever you want, and eventually you're going to come back to do the work. But we know that the spiritual work or the spiritual dedication that we all can have or really commit to will promise you to bring you to your highest level that you came to do. להחזירו למוטב. It will bring you back to the best, I would like to call it your sweet spot. You know, sweet spot? When you the most efficient, maximize your potential. That's the goal. To highest level where you need to influence. When you're using what we call the nefesh ha'eloki, the godly soul, godly energy, as opposed to the nefesh ha'behemi, we call it nefesh ha'behemi, the level of animal, being like an animal in this world. This is the sgula, the gift of the spiritual work. I like to call it a gift or sgula. It's a merit, or it's an ability, right? That the spiritual work can give you. So, what is the work that I want to share with you this week? He says, "Ubayom hashmini hukam hamishkan." In the 8th day, the fire came, the Mishkan, the tabernacle was on beautiful, everything came to life. Represent in our life the moment that you become a true influencer and a true person or spiritual person that influence true light in this world. This is that day represent. This energy that we connect in this week is that energy that I want when I shift from being a taker in this world to being an influencer in this world. But when is that happening? Because we all have the Mishkan, that section, that energy within us called Bina consciousness. It's inside of you. It's an energy that when you connect to it, you become self-sufficient. It's like when your power station is there. Your energy is not dependent on anybody anymore. Your abilities are not dependent on anything. You become self-sustained. It's almost like what they call a renewable energy, right? So the sun gives you energy and you're feeding the water and the pump in the water, so your house is full sustained, right? That's the same thing spiritually. Why do you think it exists physically? To tell us spiritually, that's where you need to be. Enough with the neediness, enough with the blame. You're done with this. But that is when you connect to the 8th day, what you call the 8th level of energy. How do we do that? In the shorter amount of time and the shorter amount of pain. Let's put it, reduced amount of pain. And again, it might sound very simple, but it's true, and it should be very simple. If each one of us start First of all, recognize the animal that you're using. Cleanse the consciousness of the animal within you. You are right there, connected to the Mishkan. You are right there. You're activating right away. Sometimes it's acquiring something, right? Here in this situation, we're not talking about acquiring anything. We're talking about connecting to something that you already have. That's what Moses gave us. זה הדבר. That's what's inside of you. That Mishkan, that power source, that's energy source, that self-sustained individual that is not bound by or limited by anyone or anything, it's inside of you. And in order for me to connect instantly, that's why Moses gives us all the animals to stay away from. Let me give you an example. And you please take a moment to think about it. Does any one of you feel sometime that he uses the fox? What is the consciousness of fox? Don't answer. But we know he's sneaky. Right? We know he's finding a way to sneak in to get what he wants. Anybody ever use that sneakiness? A wolf. Very powerful to convince people, to lure people to what he wants, right? And when he's in his hand, he's grabbing them, right? He's a beast almost, like a snake. Anybody sometime like a snake, right? How is a snake using? What is a snake doing? Whispering, right? Psst, right? And manipulating. Never go straight to the point. Go around and around. Anybody uses the snake sometime? Right? A pig. You using the pig. Pig, it says actually, pig is the most deceiving, right? Because externally it looks like a kosher animal, but internally it doesn't have the system inside. So outside, he's very slick, right? Slicky. You know slicky? People sometimes slicky, right? You can't catch them. Outside, they look like righteous. But inside, it's all selfish. It's all like a pig, you know? How you describe a pig? Oh, he eats like a pig, or he grabs things, right? Think about it. Anybody is sometimes uses the ox or the bull, right? Bully others, being too stubborn for no reason, right? A lion. A lion. Anybody here is a lion? I'm not talking about, because I'm a Leo. I'm not talking about that. A lion, what is a lion? Sits all day, do nothing. Act like a king. Want everybody to serve him. Right? Goes to the room, everybody needs to be afraid of them. Right? And if they're not afraid of it, that's why they're going with people that are less than them. Right? So they will have the authority. Right? And when somebody doesn't behave, they're gonna roar on them to scare them. Right? Anybody is like the eagle or the hawk, right? Very silent with the eyes. Oh, you know the eagle, I love the eagle. You saw the nose of the eagle? The eagle, right? Have a nose, like sticking his nose into every unnecessary business of others. Anybody does it? Right? Take the hawk, take the this, they going down, boom, to what they want. They don't care about anything. Just what I want, straight to the point. What I want. But also with the piercing eyes, right? Evil eye to others. Anybody have evil eye to others? That's what it is. This week, what I recommend to you, you know, even sometimes when you look at yourself like a small, insignificant, like a worm, it's a great attribute for your ego. But sometimes people are so big and pretending they are too small, and it's too much fake. Or using all of those animals, right? The animals that are good, which mean it's a good thing. Like I said, the worm. Right? You need to reduce yourself like the worm. Like, you reduce your ego. Think like that. No, but you walk around and you are, I'm too small, I'm insignificant, I'm this. Not from a victim point of view. You need to use that strength. Right? A worm is also a bait for a bigger fish. Right? So sometimes people have been used like that to attract bigger things. They're using it for the advantage of themselves, not for the real advantage of reducing the ego. So animal in this week, all animal, it describe all their essence, all their power, and even if they're dead, you cannot really connect to them because you become infected with that energy because it's energy of death and it's infecting you for a certain amount of time that you don't even know you've been ruled by that particular animal. And this is before we're talking about eating that particular animal. Let alone just behave, think and feel like that animal by reducing it. By reducing the thoughts, feeling and acting like that particular animal. First one need to identify what animal am I using, because it's infused inside of you. It's not the lion over there in the desert or the eagle in the sky. It's inside. It's infused with human being and we have all of their knowledge. You have to understand. If human being, you should know, if human being will raise their consciousness, level of spirituality in humanity, there is no lion or elephant or any deadly animal that will come, it will bow to human being. It will serve human being with love, with care. Why are we afraid and why we worry about mosquitoes and viruses and all of that? Because when we are not human, all of those animals retaliate. So remember, you just need to take it down. And you're already plugged in. That's the key. That's the key. I'm not asking you very complicated thing. This week's, and it's very clear. זה הדבר, this is the thing. Take it off. Stop using the wrong animal energy. And use the right animal energy. You immediately connect into what we call the Mishkan, the 8th day, the energy of Bina, the energy of complete sustenance to my movie, to my life, and to this world, of course. So again, this is this week. Please take the time, identify, and if you can't, please go to someone that you're close to, someone that you feel close to, that is honest with you and is a good friend of you or a teacher of yours, and ask them, what type of animal am I using? Right? What am I using when I'm comfortable? What am I using when I'm in relationship? What am I using, right? And it's a very low level of you. So again, it gets you what you want, but eventually it disconnects you from what we call your Mishkan, your temple, your inner temple. So I want to wish you an amazing rest of the week, and really with prayer and request for us to really identify what is the level of animal that I'm using for my own advantage. Some of them are bad, some of them are good. So it's better for us to look at that, and by removing that, by within itself, you plugged into your Mishkan, to your tabernacle, to your sources, to the inner strength, to what we call the tachanat koach, the force, right? The force, that unlimited force inside of you, that is not dependent, that is self-sustained. So have a beautiful rest of the week. Thank you for joining us.